Did some people want to try to claim that because my father paid for technically the insurance my father had paid for the murder of my son, and that the health insurance of the father of the baby did not pay for the murder of my son? That somehow somebody else wants to use the fact that they illegally expropriated my life and my estate to try to get the father to pay for the abortion of the murder of my son, and then hence be obligated to finance further acts of murder? Okay. First of all, if you guys want to say it's a woman's right to choose, at that time I was of sound mind. Secondly, I contend that I was coerced and extorted into murdering my son. Thirdly, as a result, I understood that, among other things, without any legal support or redress, I had to go through a period of accepting the burden of having murdered my son, which I have. Thirdly, the only thing I have ever received from my father as an adult was insurance coverage for the murder of my son. Fourthly, the father made it very explicit at the time that he did not want to be the father of a child. Now, if you have some discussion or some concerns about how he understands his legal relationship with whatever was the aftermath of that murder, then you need to speak to him directly. You have no right to use me. Your issue with me is that I understand that you were supporting a political paradigm wherein you were aiding and abetting people that had already signed me personally up for acts of prostitution that were expected to be delivered over the course of my lifetime. And in the course of that, they extorted and otherwise enabled the murder of my son. So if you're going to go there, then what you're saying is that you want legal justification for the murder of sons like mine. Now, if there is a war and we are dealing with terrorists, and there is a reason for us to have resolve in the face of a terrorist attack, then that's one thing. But I've already been on record as saying that children should not be compelled to finance that, and we should protect them. So you don't really have a lot of room to go on here. If, on the other hand, you took that aborted fetus, as you would describe it, and used it without my informed consent or even knowledge in acts of genetic engineering, and now believe that because you have defrauded me of my own inheritance while in commission of acts of high crimes associated with attempting to compel me to engage acts of prostitution committed to since I was a minor child for the benefit of others that have abused the Constitution in the processes of so doing, if you believe that you're entitled to any sort of genetic legacy from or through him by virtue of your access to that aborted fetal tissue, then let me tell you, I'm suing you right now for that aborted fetal tissue and everything you did with it. You murdered my son. You stole the corpse. When you stole the corpse, you desecrated it. And then you attempted to illegally redistribute it to others. That is not acceptable. And just because you've done it for 25 years and feel that in the intervening 25 years you were justified in using it to finance other acts of terrorism and murder doesn't make it acceptable. You really want to go there? You really want to go there? Would you set a 30-day notice? Was a 30-day? You set a 30-day notice for when Michael Flynn is supposed to return to court? I anticipate that's exactly what you did. All right. Third, so I got 3 days. All right.